Hello everyone, TLSG here, back again with another daily Marvel Snap video. Today we have a very big update from the developers. I was live streaming when they released the video announcing collector's tokens. There is so much good information and a lot of positive wins that I think they've really checked all of the boxes in terms of what they can do to make sure that this is a smooth transition and a smooth rollout. And so there was a lot of information in the video, so I did want to kind of take it and break it down a little bit to look at the key highlights that I took away from it. And so for the first part, it's just they're releasing more cards and saying that players want agency over what cards they can pull, and they're going to be doing that through collector's tokens. With collector tokens being released, it's going to create a shop similar to your in-game variant shop that's going to rotate every 8 hours. Every 8 hours, a new card is going to be featured, and you're going to be able to use your collector's tokens to pull and acquire that card, which is massive. You can wait long enough. If you don't have enough tokens, you can freeze the card through this little pin. You can target which cards you want. Now, of course, you will have to wait and check every refresh or every 8 hours to see if the card that you want to pull is featured. But otherwise, this gives you a lot of agency on what cards you can pull and win. And so if you're missing Sarah and you just really want a Sarah build, you're going to be able to target and unlock Sarah through your collector's tokens, which is massive. That takes away the negative feeling of waiting and kind of gives it back into your hands so that you can grind, but you're not just grinding for random cards that you don't know when you're going to get this card. You know that if you get 200 more collector's tokens, you can pull the Cerebro that you've been waiting for. You can get Series 4 and Series 5 while you're still collecting Series 3 cards, which is, again, going to drastically change everybody's collection, the amount of cards, the amount of decks that you're going to run up against, and it's going to make things very exciting for quite a while. And so you can acquire collector's tokens in a couple of different ways. They're replacing boosters in the collector's caches and reserves. Originally, when you open a cache and a reserve, there's a 25% chance to get 100 tokens. And so if a player has all of the Series 3 cards, there's going to be an additional 22% chance to get 400 tokens, which is a massive boom. That is almost a half of a Series 3 card that you can pull from the token shop. Now, as a reminder, a Series 3 card unlock is 1,000 tokens. So that is a huge chunk of a Series 3 card. And depending on how much Series 4 and Series 5 cards cost in your token shop, I believe that is probably still going to be a pretty good chunk, and you're going to be able to start unlocking some of those cards pretty quickly. And so with the collector's tokens, so that everybody has something to aim for, they're releasing 16 new cards. So they're releasing Series 4 and Series 5. Now these are going to be a little bit different than Series 1 through 3 because they've said that you can start unlocking these cards, so Series 4 and Series 5, before you complete Series 3. So you have to at least be in Series 3, which is massive. You can pull some of these really strong, ultra rare cards early on in the game. And so Series 4 is going to be rare cards. They're 10 times more rare than Series 3. And there's an answer in the Discord that I'll show in just a second that dives into this just a little bit more. And then Series 5 is ultra rare, which has 6 of the 16 new cards, and they are 10 times more rare than Series 4. So these are going to be very hard to find. Whenever you see one of these or whenever you unlock one of these, it's going to be a big deal. I can't wait to build around some of these polarizing, very strong, powerful cards. That it's going to be exciting anytime you finally pull one. And so breaking down how many tokens are needed for card in each series, Series 5 is going to take 6,000 tokens. But as a reminder, you can potentially start pulling 400 at a time after you complete Series 3, so that might not be as bad as it sounds. You'll be able to pull one, I think, pretty frequently for it being such a rare and exclusive card. And then we also have Series 4, that's 3,000. Series 3 is going to be 1,000 tokens. And since you can't start pulling tokens until level 500, you're not going to be able to use the token shop until after you complete Pull 2. And then something that they didn't say in the video, eventually some cards will be moved down from Series 5 and Series 4, and I think this is a really cool concept, that it's going to make it more attainable to everybody, that initially it's going to be really rare, really powerful, but once it's been kind of played for a little bit, once other new rare exclusive cards are released, it will get bumped down a little bit and be a little bit more attainable to everybody else. And so I like this concept that it will continue to kind of tier down as it gets older and as new cards are added. And then another major win is that they're going to give everybody a gift of tokens to get started. So if you have a collection level of 500 through 999, you get 3,000 tokens to start. From 1,000 to 2,999 is 6,000 collector's tokens, which is, remember, that is a Series 5 ultra rare card, or 2 Series 4 cards, or 6 from Series 3, which is a lot. That's a huge boom. That's a huge influx of additional cards that you're going to be able to get as soon as these launch. Of course, with waiting for the shop to show the card that you want, but if you're not picky, you can just pick a bunch of cards and unlock and progress your collection very, very quickly. And then if you have a collection level of over 3,000, you're going to get 12,000 tokens to be able to spend on these new cards. And so for me, for example, at 6,000, I'm going to be able to get at least 2 ultra rares if they show up in my shop, or several super rares if I would rather those instead of the ultra rares. And then an even bigger upside is that for players that aren't already at collection level 500, you're going to be granted 3,000 as soon as you hit level 500. So you get an initial surge of those tokens, even if you're not quite there yet. So even if you're just now picking up the game, you're not at that much of a disadvantage. You still get a lot of upside, even if you're not at 500 when they release. And then with that, we have a lot of new cards that are really, really exciting. I'm not going to go through each of them in depth. I'll save that for some later videos. But these are all going to be really exciting. These are going to be our Series 4. So She-Hulk, which is a 6/10, cost 1 less for each energy spent. A 1/5 in Titanium, which when any card is played at this location, it's going to switch sides back and forth. I think this is a very, very interesting concept, and I'm really excited to build a couple of decks around this one. We also have Luke Cage, which is going to be Hazmat's best friend. He has the ongoing ability, your cards can't have their power reduced. And so if you have a Hazmat on a Wong or a Hazmat on a Wong into an Odin, your cards are going to stay the exact same power, while the opponents are going to continue to get reduced. This is phenomenal. And then you don't have to worry about Spider-Woman, you don't have to worry about the opponent. This is going to be phenomenal. Then we have Absorbing Man, again in Series 4, so super rare, not ultra, which on reveal, if the last card you played has an on reveal, this card copies it, which again is going to be insanely strong. Cosmo is going to be all over the meta. He's going to be almost necessary to stop some of these really strong on reveal cards. Then we have Maria Hill, we have Agent Collusion, we have Helicarrier, we have M'Baku, we have Aluma, we have Orca. And then in Series 5, starting with our ultra rare, the really strong ones, of course, we have our best friend Galactus, which is I'm excited to build around this one. We have Valkyrie, which is also going to be really strong. We have Super Skull. This one's going to be, this one at 4 cost is going to be insane with its ability. We have Shuri, another broken card. We have Bast, which is strong in its own regard in several different kind of styles of games. Maybe in a Zoo deck. Maybe in a Cerebro 3, a lot of good uses for Bast. We have Thanos, which I am the most excited about building around Thanos, because you're going to have to build around all of these extra stones that you have and find ways to utilize them. And I think we're going to have to get really creative with finding ways to use these and pull them from our decks and just find the upside with this card. And I'm really excited to brew some different builds with this one. If this one shows up, this is probably going to be the one that I target the first in my collector's shop. And then before closing out, we have a couple of answers from Steven in the official Marvel Snap Discord that I do want to cover. So the first one is in regards to the rate of card draws in Series 4 and 5. So pulling them from the collector's track, not just from the collector's token shop. And so our very own mod Soul Knife, aka Jeremiah, asked about the rate that you're going to pull those. So the question was, in the collector's reserves, it would be a 25% chance to get a Series 3 card. Once we get to Series 4, the chance to draw a card will reduce to just 2.5%. So it's a very, very rare occasion that we're going to draw one. But there is also a safety value that guarantees at least one every 40 caches, which 40 caches is a lot. Which, if that math holds down, that's going to be every 400 caches for an ultra rare, which is also a lot. But we do have the collector's tokens that we will be earning in the meantime to target some of those cards that we really, really want. And then the chance of a Series 5 card is going to be a 0.25% chance to naturally pull that from the collector's track So thankfully, we're going to be able to target these cards from the token shop. I think we're always going to have something to use our collector's tokens on, because these odds are very, very slim. And something that I didn't see asked, and I'm kind of curious about, is for those that are very, very far in the collection track, so well over 3,000. I know that one of the content creators, Kraken Knoll, is at like 10,000 collection level now. So would his odds increase as he gets further in the collection level? I haven't seen that one addressed, but I'm curious to see if any information comes out about it, but it hasn't as of yet. But it is good to know we have a 2.5% chance of pulling Series 4 and a 0.25% chance. So a very, very minuscule amount to pull from Series 5. And then the next one that we have is another really good question, and it comes from Shipple. The question is, the current amount of boosters that we get in reserves are 15% for 20 and 5% for 40. So the chance that we pull tokens are 25, which is missing an extra 5%. And so Steven verified that there is a reduced chance to get credits with the tokens being added. So you're not going to get credits as often. That extra percentage chance to pull those is going to be moved over into the collector's tokens. And so this is going to give you a little bit more agency rather than advancing your collection level as quickly. And then lastly, we have Canadian Alfredo asking the hard-hitting questions that after announcing 16 brand new cards, are we still planning on having one card released per week? And so Steven confirmed that additional cards will still be added at one card per week after the launch of the tokens, which is massive. That means we're going to start seeing a lot more cards added into the game. Most of them are probably going to be Series 4 and Series 5 and be kind of hard to attain, but I'm completely fine with that. That's going to make different matchups that you go into feel vastly different. You're not going to see net decking for quite a while, I don't think, because everybody's going to have different resources that they'll be able to utilize. That is a rundown of the information that they gave in the update video today. I am very, very excited for these new cards. I'm excited for the collector's tokens. I think it's a big win for new players and old players alike. I think they have hit every element to make sure that it is a successful launch. Now it's just waiting until they release it. And so of these 16 cards, which ones are you looking forward to the most? Let me know in the comment section down below, and I will do some future videos and kind of give you my thoughts on my top 5 and least 5 most anticipated cards out of all of the data mined cards, not just the ones that were released today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this kind of update style video. If you did, make sure to let me know in the comment section down below. These are a little bit outside of my normal kind of content wheelhouse, so let me know if you enjoy it or things that I could do to make it a little bit better next time around. But as always, this has been TLSG. Later, guys.